Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another apartment renovation. And we are back at 910 Medina Studios, which is originally Salim Banali's apartment. And I have to admit, it's not one of my favorite units. At least I don't think it is. Maybe it's becoming one because I've been here a lot. So I'm sorry about that. I have just been really enjoying apartments lately, and it's because I'm trying to challenge myself to come up with different floor plans. So this is one of those different floor plans. I don't know if I like it that much, but it's really difficult to work around all of the needs TLC items in this apartment. So what I've done before is I've completely ignored those items and just placed things over them just for the sake of doing a renovation or a build. But I wanted to try to work around them this time and come up with a floor plan that I hadn't done before. And I wanted to make it for a single mom and her toddler. I have been doing a lot of different toddler rooms lately, and I really just wanted to kind of do that here because I thought it would be very fitting. So this mom is just a single mom. She's just got the one toddler, and this is kind of maybe a little starter apartment for them, if you will. But it has, I think, still a lot of room, especially for just the two of them. And again, I think I like this layout. I really don't know if I like this floor plan that much. I think it was super awkward. Well, one, this apartment is so awkward because of the window placement. Like there's this big, tall, skinny window just in the freaking corner over here. And it's just like, for why? Like why is it even there? But I decided to try to work the kitchen around it. So I tried to do some like open shelving to make it less, I don't know, less severe of a cutoff from the tile and the overhead cabinets and stuff like that. And I didn't want to put the overhead cabinets all the way to the ceiling because I'm fairly certain this is the tallest wall height that we have in the game. So it makes it really awkward. And typically when I do work in this apartment, I don't really care if I block parts of the window or put objects on top of it. You can delete whatever you'd like if you just absolutely loathe it, but I didn't put any cabinets like on the window, but I did use this particular shelving decoration thing right here from the Cool Kitchen stuff pack. I was gonna say the Cool Kitchen kit. It's not right, it's the stuff pack. And it kind of sort of is on the window, but not really, so I thought it was okay. And I tried to keep that little mouse/rat hole open because, you know, you're gonna have a little rodent friend pop in there at some point. But the kitchen, even though it's kind of an odd layout, I really like at least where the table is. I liked being able to put the table kind of at the end of the counter. And what I end up doing though is I realized that the chair that's closest to the stove, I do delete it because it does block the one and only countertop. So I was cognizant of that a little bit later on. I don't think you'll see that deletion in the screenshots, but when you download this apartment, you will notice that. And if I'm incorrect and not remembering things well, which is totally possible, you would just have to delete that chair. And that's pretty much it. So there might only be like one or two chairs that are actually at this table, not including the high chair. And I really just put the high chair for show because I know so many people don't use high chairs because they're a pain in the butt to use. But yeah, I really liked it. I also put a few sticky notes here on the fridge, and I always am meaning to do this, but I just never remember to do it, or I have the fridge in an area where you can't. But I took the like little artwork pieces and a calendar and put them on the side of the fridge as well. Now, the only way I could do that here is because I was able to delete the walls that were really close to the fridge, so I could kind of manipulate those things because they clip to walls. That's usually why I can't do it, is because I have a fridge on a wall that I can't delete, especially in an apartment. But it is pretty much coming together. The kitchen is probably the most cluttered area aside from this very teeny tiny living space as well. It's really small. It is a little bit cramped, I can't lie. But I was trying to figure out which couch I wanted to use. I was trying to use different things, but I ended up going right back to the high school years little love seat because I thought it was perfect for this apartment. And I know I've been using it a lot, but it's probably one of my favorite couches at this point. And I really didn't think that was going to be the case. When I first saw that couch with the expansion pack release, I wasn't a fan. I really wasn't a fan at all. And I started using it and I became a really big fan really quickly. Now, one of the things that bothered me though too with this combined living and kitchen space is the way that the tile that I had in the kitchen just really drops off, like it's just cut right at the end. And I feel like it looks so odd, especially with the tall wall height, because the color that is above the tile is not the same as what I chose for the rest of the apartment. So I ended up just taking this nice soft white brick and using it as this kind of big accent wall behind part of the kitchen and behind the TV, like in this living space. So I thought that was kind of a nice compromise. It's just that cutoff really bothers me. Sometimes I'll use a column even on an interior to kind of separate that, like, hey, this is where the tile stops and this is where the paint or wallpaper starts. But I just didn't want to do that here. I didn't think it looked nice. So I did add the brick and I thought that was kind of a nice element. If you don't like it, you can of course change it. But the living room is pretty much coming together at this point as well. It is very small and cozy and intimate. I made a few different changes off camera as well, like the swatch of the sofa and a few more decorative items, but it's not drastically different. And then here in the entryway, there is a console table and 2 of these bookcases from Dream Home Decorator. Now, since I did size them down, because oddly enough, these clip into walls even when they snap to the grid. Do you know what I mean? So I sized them down using the tool mod only by, I want to say 0.1, maybe 0.2, like I maybe did 0.8 or 0.9, I can't really remember, but it was just enough to make them look like they fit a bit better. However, that of course messes up all of the slots. So if you see me here placing a ton of stuff on random slots, it's just so I could freely place things and they'd stop clipping to these slots. I really hope that makes sense. It was a bit complicated even as I was doing it. I was getting so annoyed with myself. But I added a ton of clutter there, like just some extra storage, some like little kid stuffies and things. And then there's just a lamp, some magazines, and a few more decorative items here on the entryway table. I just wanted it to be very much lived in. Maybe this mom and her toddler are looking to get into a bigger apartment, maybe in the same building. I don't actually remember what other apartments are in this building. They might be huge compared to this one. I can't recall. But maybe they're looking to get into a bigger apartment, or maybe they have officially saved up to like purchase their first home. I don't know, something like that. That could be kind of fun because they're very much settled in this unit, I think. And now that over there to the left is going to be mom's room, and then the toddler room is kind of in the middle here. Then there's this really weird bathroom because again, we had to kind of work around the pipes and the circuit breaker box. Is it dangerous to have a circuit breaker box in your bathroom? Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I would think so. I thought it was a little less dangerous to have it just be the sink and the toilet and not like the shower tub combo, especially with a toddler, but it's still dangerous. So just, be careful. I don't know. It's a very awkward split up bathroom just because of the placement and of course all of the objects and what I was trying to do. So hopefully it works. I did playtest everything. It does actually like work in the game, but hopefully you don't mind it is what I'm trying to say. Now the first room that I do decorate though is mom's room. I did choose a few different objects that I may have tossed over into the toddler room, but I did like mom's room as well. There is that awkward little square window like on the freaking ceiling, which I will never understand. I will never understand some of these apartments. I didn't put a curtain on it or anything because it was just really high up. I don't think that you would. I think you would just let that be. But she's got a dresser here, her own TV. There's like a little armchair over here against the dresser. She's got a full-length mirror, and then there are just a few little decorative items up on top of her dresser and a few more pieces of like artwork and things like that just because it's such a big space, a big empty space, I think. Now your sim can access both sides of the bed as well using the scoot feature because I did block that side with the faux hamper. So the scoot feature worked great for me. However, if you had 2 sims in this apartment, that could get a little bit annoying. So you might want to move that little hamper. And then this is going to be the toddler's room, which I thought was super cute. There's of course a dresser as well. We've got a little toddler bed and a bunch of little decorations on top of it. I want to try to keep that vent and the mouse hole open. Now I play tested this for a while and not everything broke, so you might still have to shift some things around to make sure that they work perfectly. If so, I apologize, but I did my best to try to play test it. I did it for like 4 sim days and not everything broke, and I was like, okay, all right, this is a little bit much for me. But yeah, there's just a bunch of toddler stuff in here. I just wanted it to be like soft pinks and like purples and some light blues and teals and things like that. I just thought it was a really nice color combination to go for in this toddler room. Now, I wasn't picturing that the toddler was, you know, like a little boy or a little girl. It could be for any toddler you want, because who the hell cares? That's my take on it. Who the heck cares? And yeah, they just got a ton of little things on the floor too, just to make it look a little bit more played in and lived in. And that's pretty much it for this apartment renovation. I was just trying to add some decorations on that wall, but you know, apartments and their glitches. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I can't wait to hear your thoughts, and I will catch you next time I post a video. Bye.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird.